Welcome to the Sales Lab.
And so in these conversations, what types of questions are you asking? What types of questions are they asking? Can you kind of go through a typical interaction and what happens?
Yeah, I think the best questions that we can train our people to ask is really to focus on specific patient types. And so if you think about it, if you're a doctor, so let's use our company. So we're calling on hematologists, we're calling on nephrologists that are kidney doctors. And so these are patients that are very sick. They've already seen a primary care provider. Typically, they've had tests done. They've been referred now to a specialist that is has advanced training in this particular disease state. And so the volume of patients that a primary care provider sees is obviously much higher than what a specialist will see. And so these specialists really know their patient types. And so some of the best questions that we can ask, we kind of categorize them into different categories, but there's the context problems. It's kind of the general things like, doctor, have you noticed, any common adverse events with product X, or have you had any bad experiences when it comes to reimbursement situations with some of our competitor products? Those are kind of just context. It kind of just gives you something to kind of get a conversation started. Kind of that next level of questions, we call them problem questions. And so, doctor, tell me about a problem. What sort of problems are you having with treating this patient type? Are you having any unexpected adverse events that are causing you frustration or causing the patient problems? So you're trying to create the problem so that you can offer your solution, obviously. And then really that third level, kind of if you think about it from a pyramid, if you can get to something like an impact question that, doctor, what's the impact of using a product X for this patient? If you're having to deal with adverse event concerns, if you're having to deal with reimbursement concerns, if you're not getting good service by the representative, what's the impact of that decision having on you, your practice, and your patient? And so it's in a perfect world, you kind of start with the context, you kind of move into the problem, and then you kind of get to the impact. And then hopefully the doctor starts to sell himself or herself on, hey, I'm starting to understand the big picture here, what you're trying to explain to me. And so that's, we spend a lot of time in sales training. It used to be much more focused on the messages that we were delivering. I would say now the industry has probably shifted more to, at least in my experience, it's almost more important to focus on the questions that you can ask as opposed to the message that you can deliver.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's just so much noise in a doctor's world. They've got so many different people wanting to get time with them, and a lot of them are small business owners, so they've got to worry about payroll and taxes and a new building and staffing and legislation. And so there's so many things that are not necessarily patient treatment oriented because they're small business owner.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes if a rep just shows up and just starts delivering messages, it's just like us watching TV. I mean, it's just a commercial. It's noise sometimes. We're not paying attention. But good questions, good engagement, getting good quality time with a physician is really the goal of any sales rep. It's I would much rather ask 3 questions than give a message anytime to a doctor.